Hey Cortana, Xbox on. Oh, it might help if I have. Let's turn the right way. Okay, so yeah. By the way, I already lost the bet. So, uh, just in case y'all wondering, yeah. I'll tell you how. Yeah, no, I've already lost it. Mrs. Dragnot won the $20. By the way, she was on a sock account and took a screenshot because, and I'll tell you how, because I woke up from a nap and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because my phone is still populating shit that I was watching from earlier. Yeah, it was quick. And y'all notice I haven't made a video. But I listened, I was like, what the fuck? What, this bitch still live? And so I tuned in, and I hear fucking Shamu talking about how it's everyone else's. Well, for one thing, I'm one of the Gary Ridgways, which is a lie. Evidently, one of the Ridgways was fucking with her and said that, yeah, I'm Dragnot, which, again, she has no evidence for. But, shit, that's going to be an issue. So I just told MP that, you know, Mrs. Drag caught me on, you know, and I got a screenshot that she sent me, but the live chat was not saved. So I don't know if it's going to count. So, you know, it's whatever. Mr. Dragnot got $20 coming either way, I guess. I don't know. But I'm still gonna not actually mention it because, well, one of the things is she was not part of CCP. She's actually on the periphery, and Nate made a video this morning saying that no, Shanny doesn't count. But I did mention the retard from New Jersey. So yeah, I guess that does count. I don't know. But I don't know. It was never specifically said, you know, whether on video, because he was saying that, you know, it needs to be a timestamp. Well, there's no timestamp. So her live chat's gone. But there's a screenshot of it, so I don't know if it counts. It might count. I'm saying it does count, so whatever. But so now the Shanster has continued because she made like 40-something fucking videos, and like I think I watched 2 of them, and I started dying laughing at them, and I was trying to make it as cringy as possible, so I just started eating shit to like balance out the cringy of her and the shit that she does, and make it even more fucking cringy. So. I hope it was cringy. Someone's like, I know your mother. Looks like he's getting a start on the again. It's getting early. Yeah. Oh no, she loves it. But here's what I'm like. Some of y'all, because I was watching the drag chat the other night, and some of y'all got a lot of screenshots of just Rev in the back. And there's one good like gift that somebody got of Rev, and he is just laid the fuck out. Rev looks like ass, man. I feel sorry for Rev. I'm just like, he's suffering, man. He's suffering bad. Like you can tell he's having a rough ass time. But man, he's sitting here listening to this shit, and he rolled the fuck out of his eyes were about to roll out of his goddamn head. He's like, and I can like if I could tune in on oh shit, he can't find the video. Oh, okay, hold on for a second, folks. Yeah, he stopped drinking. Okay, Nate's sending me, so I'll try and tell him what's going on. So evidently, he's recovering. So that's been publicly stated that he's recovering. I mean, we all knew that he had a bit of a drinking problem. Some of us were around during the Nadia times. So, oh shit, hold on. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, folks. I had to talk to Nate about something. All right, so I'm not. What is Faith upset about now? Hold on, because I saw that right before Nate called me. Rev looks good. No, he doesn't. He's clean, doing well. Okay, none of your business lies. Okay, so here's a pro tip for people just getting used to the internet. Whatever you put on the internet becomes someone else's fucking business. I don't know who lied to you. If I for whatever reason have, let's say I'm going to use a perfect example of somebody. You don't have to like my style. You can also eat a dick. If you have your bed unmade consistently, then guess what? Your bed being unmade then becomes public information because it's in the public. if you look like ass and you're in the public, that becomes public information. I shouldn't have to explain this to adults. If you mention that you are going through something personal and you put it in the public fucking form, it becomes public information. I'm not sure why I have to explain this to adults. No. So so Mrs. Drag won the $20 because I mentioned G-Tard in text. It wasn't explicitly stated, just said mention, but we're gonna count that anyway. So it is. I'm still gonna try for it. But yeah, Shani is not included in the CCP, so I can say whatever I want about her. Mrs. Drag is not me. I'm not sure why people think that we have the same attitude or the same anything, honestly. But so I got to get the timestamp. We got the screenshot, but I got the timestamp and I'll put it in there myself. So she'll get that money. But anyway, I woke up from a fucking nap and I hear this bitch saying, well, I'm one of Gary Ridgway's. And I'm like, I could have fucking swore that whole thing was quite obvious, that I can't also be the person pretending to be a Ridgway and calling his fucking job at the same time, because there was quite a few times I was live when this shit was transpiring. I could have swore that's what would happen, but people believe whatever the fuck they want. And so now I got this bitch also threatening me with another fucking lawsuit. And I'm like, I could fill up the rest of this bookcase with retarded fucking threats of lawsuits. So again, it's literally been half a fucking year now, and I'm waiting on these stupid ass lawsuits from people who don't know a goddamn thing. Again, I don't actually have to mention. I could say, you know what, the clearance crew. I can call people the clearance crew, and you know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about without directly referencing them. That's perfectly fine. So yes, I saw the 50 fucking videos because they were filling up my queue on YouTube over here, on my YouTube app, my Xbox. So I watched like 2 or 3 of them, and of course she's being facetious about a lot of stupid shit, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I heard she was mentioning you about stalking her. I don't think she's actually read a goddamn thing as far as anything legal, and I don't think she actually knows what stalking is. And so it's interesting because, and I just had a conversation with somebody else who was in the chat where it's hilarious because I never understand. She will absolve herself from responsibility and the people in her circle from responsibility and from being culpable for their actions. But when it comes to shit that she doesn't like, then everyone else is responsible for somebody else. And I said, funny, I repeated the same shit that she just said. I am not his mother. And so then when it was turned on me, well, Dragknight, why haven't you said anything about the Ridgways? I fucking have. One of them has my number, in fact. They know how to get in contact with me very fucking well. Okay? And so when they ask me, is this cool? I say, no, it's not. And I even go publicly and say, you know what? This is not cool. And there's at least 2 or 3 videos and me on Talking Shit Tuesday saying, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't call his fucking job. And when I say we, I mean y'all. So, because I've never called this motherfucker's job. Never. Ever. Spoken to anyone in any capacity of the working variety type deal thing of this particular person. Point blank fucking period. Because if they had evidence for it, if they actually had any type of evidence at all for that, I'd be the one admonished, because people behind the scenes would actually fucking know, and they would admonish me publicly because they've done it before if I've ever crossed the line with somebody. So don't sit here and fucking play that game. Like, just stop. They're believing the words of a fucking retard who lives in a goddamn attic who can't even afford fucking AC. But, I can't really expect much from people who don't know how to discern idiots from intellectuals. That's at the end of the fucking day, that's what it is. That's what it fucking is. You can be upset that I've characterized him that way, and people can be upset that I approach the situation. But if you've not known this about me this long, if you've not actually watched any of my videos, I'm kind of a fuck the bullshit type of person. Fuck the feelings type of person. I don't fucking care type of person. If that's something that it's called being real. It is called being real. When I met this retard, he learned very quickly that that's how I am. If that's something that you don't like, then go play in fucking Fairy Foo Land, because I don't fucking care. But don't sit here and pretend that you're doing something to me. Because I just, like I said, I just took my little brother to a fucking Indian buffet. We ate, we had nice old food babies, and I went and took me a fucking nap. That's what I did today. I feel fucking accomplished. Mrs. Dragnet is gonna win the $20, by the way. So I'm still gonna play along. It's gonna be difficult this Sunday because we got a special guest coming on the show. There's somebody that I've mentioned that I've been talking to on Facebook, and this special person is going to validate or maybe even invalidate certain things that I've said. So it'll be fun. So anyway, what's crazy to me is that these folks seem to think that they're actually doing something. That they're Vincent got it. They actually think that they're doing something with all these resources. And think about this. Yeah, I just spoke to Nate. Mrs. D is the winner. I gotta get the timestamp for it. Actually, let me do that right now while I'm talking. These folks actually think they're doing something. So here's what's funny. Now, let me put this into perspective for y'all. All right. So these folks who have routinely chastised me for supposedly being a broke ass bitch. One of which said that I was fucking homeless. Okay, Nate is live. All right, cool. They somehow can't seem to pool their resources together to help out one another. That's very strange to me. So they can't actually do that. Because they see this dude sweating his balls up, but they can't even get him, right? But they'll pool money together for a lawsuit.
This is how it is.
But not, I can't get the, where is the live chat on any? Oh shit, we might have to disqualify that one. Because let me see if there's a live chat in this. Okay, no, there is one. I just gotta wait for it. Okay, nope, I'm good. All right. So that's what I'm kind of curious about here. So you can listen to a retard and his retarded ass friends, right? And that's cool. You'll listen to him when he's trying to take actions against people who he's personally attacked on numerous occasions, but you can't actually help the motherfucker get something like he might need in life, like AC, like clothes that fucking fit, like that. That's to me seems odd. You know, where is the priorities here? Just all fucked up, and I can't for the life of me like figure out, what these folks are doing with themselves. But I mean, that's up to them. Somebody was upset. I think Faith was upset earlier, saying Rev the fuck does not look good. Don't fucking lie to him. No, he does not look good. Rev looks like ass. I'm not saying that to be mean to Rev. Rev looks bad. Rev feels fucking bad. Have you listened to Rev lately? Have you heard his voice? Have you not even his old videos where he's getting animated, where he's upset because the Christians on here are fighting and he doesn't like hearing, you know what? And it's like, man, I even made a video response saying, man, look at that Rev. That's vigor. That's conviction. I'm being a little facetious, but a large part of me is like, that's some vigor. I haven't seen that kind of fucking, conviction in somebody in a while. That's crazy. Now you compare that to how Rev sounds now. Rev can barely fucking speak. He does not sound good. Don't fucking lie to him. A part of recovering is facing fucking reality. He looks bad and sounds bad. He's recovering. All of us have known that Rev had Rev used to talk about it. He's not so much lately, and it was fucking obvious the dude had a drinking problem. He is one of many people on here who has a drinking problem. But unlike other folks, Rev said, I'm going to try and do something about it. And I admire Rev for that. I mean, unfortunately, he could be in a better situation when he's trying to recover. He's trying to do something. but fuck me running. This shit ain't helping him. How is it like a time to you know, jump back into things when you it's, you know, because there were some comments made about my ability as a husband, and while certainly I could take time away from YouTube, but no one's being neglected here. And interestingly enough, none of my kids have been ever taken away by CPS. I'm gonna just let that sink in for a second. None of my kids have ever been taken away, even remotely threatened to be taken away by CPS. In any way, shape, or form, at any point in time. Nor have my marriage been you know, dissolved because of some bullshit. I'm again still married. So while we're offering advice, while we're poking fun at people's lives and shit, again, this is in the public forum. I'm just saying, if there's anybody here to judge, it's the person that's on top of this situation. I'm just saying. And I am by no means perfect. And by no means, Mrs. D can tell you, there's some shit that's wrong with me. Abso-fucking-lutely. But I make up for it. That's why me and her are a partnership. That's why she didn't want to be a part of this shit. Because she didn't come on here and start talking shit about folks, but she's noticing that people, you know, are attacking her simply because she's married to me. When she's made a great effort to go on her channel, upload videos about her playing a fucking ukulele. That's it. That's it. But the person who lost her fucking kids, the person who's been married I don't know how many fucking times now, she's now upset that other people aren't taking responsibility for somebody else's actions. Let that sink in for however long you need to. I'm still there, and there's somebody else who's in the chat too. They're still trying to figure out, like, so hold on for a second. You want people to take, specifically me, to take responsibility for someone else's actions, but you don't want to take responsibility for your boy's actions. How does that work? You want other people to do things that you're unwilling to do yourself. Well, that sounds fucking lazy to me. Just saying. Yeah, we know GG's stirring this shit. I mean, it's funny how they don't want to listen to atheists, but then when it comes to certain things, they will listen to atheists. I don't. Anyway, if that's the folks, if that's who they want to listen to, that's fine. I hope they continue listening to them. I hope the fucking retard in New Jersey listens to DD and whoever else, and Brett Keane and any of these other fucking idiots, because they all fucking stupid to me. You know, all of them. But now they're pooling their resources. And think about this, because I one of the things I heard yesterday is you know, spousal something or other, spousal neglect. Now, if my spouse is going through some shit and she's bedridden, can't get up and really do much of anything. Now, would it be a good idea to get him involved in needless drama, or her into needless drama? Would that help or hinder recovery? Let's think about that for a second. Probably needs some affirmation. Probably needs whatever medication is needed for whatever this condition is. Probably a lot of peace and fucking quiet. I would think, because if you go to, you know, just hospice care, do you see people going? Does it look like a fucking zoo? Does it look like Jerry Springer, or even what, Montel Williams? I don't know. Hell, what like when you're in a recovery scenario type thing, what are the things that they try and maximize? It's certainly not fucking drama. So while we're talking about spousal abuse and spousal neglect and this stupid shit, how about we actually think about the dude? Because that's all I've just been reading in the drag chat is, man, Rev, look, man, what's wrong with Rev? Is she not thinking about Rev? That's all I kept seeing last night and this morning. Well, that and Pokemon, which I had to get up and do my Pokemon stuff today. But That's all I'm thinking about. I'm watching the event. I'm just looking in the corner, and that man looks fucking miserable. Absolutely fucking miserable. And I do feel sorry for him. Absolutely fucking sorry for him. And yet, oh, thank you, Artie, for... I did catch that, you know, she's rich now. And I kind of caught him look over and give a look and then turn. Now, I'm no fucking psychic. But if I had to think, I'm like, if I was Rev, I was like, bitch, that's my money. That's if that's what, if I was in his position, that should have never came out her fucking mouth. Should have never came out her fucking mouth. Because you know what? My in-laws have worked very hard. They bought their own home. They have a bit of money. I don't talk about what I may or may not have based on their efforts, because I don't want it. Y'all can ask Mrs. D. What have I asked her father for? I've asked her father for two things. I've asked her father for her. Asked her father for her, and for like $1.35 because I didn't have any money, any actual like cash on me, because I always carry card. I needed for some stamps to mail some shit off to the VA. That's it. That is it. That is it. My son is the one who gets gifts. My son's the one who gets clothes and all the shit in his room, because that's their grandson, and they're going to spoil the fuck out of him. I don't have wealth based on somebody else's fucking efforts. That is some really fucking crass shit to say. That is some really just this, and that's the kind of tells me too, because people who have money and have money for a while, they know that you don't brag about that openly. Just saying, y'all might hear me fuck around and talk about this dude who lives in New Jersey with no AC, man, but I'm not like, well, I got central AC, bitch. Aha! I'm just saying, get your priorities straight. That's what I'm saying. But on this topic, rather than maximizing the situation for Rev to recover, is more important, I guess, to try and take shots at me, when, you know what, if that was the case, then why not do it like before he's in recovery mode? I mean, if you're going to make videos, well, do it somewhere else, you know, where he doesn't have to be around. If he's in the room chilling, napping, just trying to recover, go take your ass outside. Go for a walk. Don't bring that shit around him. How about actually think about Rev? Shit. Mrs. D don't want to hear all this shit that I'm doing. They really need to fix it. This thing just crashes too fucking often for me now. But it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy to me that people come on the internet now and they think that I don't know, like I kind of, for funsies, like to psychoanalyze folks, because I do pick up on things that are obvious, at least to me, but I don't like take that with a grain of fucking salt. Take it with a pound of salt. But Shani is perimenopause, was okay for her. Oh man, yes, Aries, yeah. So let me look. Yeah, I love. One of the things I love about Shani is that she will use anything in the world, to excuse her behavior. And Shani's mom called this out too in that video, that has been saved for posterity. Is that it doesn't matter if the moons of Saturn have not aligned in the right direction, then she cannot be held responsible for her actions. Like it doesn't matter. It does not matter, and it amazes me, because I don't get the feeling that she was raised like that. I don't get the feeling. It might have something to do with her mom being in the fucking chat right now, but what's crazy to me is that I wasn't raised like that, and Brett can tell you how we were raised. And there was a strong onus on owning up to your shit. That's why the first thing that I did the other day when I made a video saying, you know what, those individual situations that I'm not going to mention, the reason why these individual situations and the main antagonists in those individuals are the, you know, have gotten to this level now is because some of us have been giving them attention. And the very first fucking thing that I did, yes, I already lost. The very first thing that I did was take responsibility for my actions, my part in that. I didn't go and blame everyone else. I didn't say, oh, all you fucking people, this, that, and the other. It's this person, that person, this person. The very first thing that I did, and I reiterated it a few times, was I took responsibility for my role in it. At what point in time do you see her doing any of that? That never happens. It's almost like an afterthought once she figures out that she doesn't have a way to explain away her actions. Well, you know, the moons, okay, maybe the moons did align, you know, maybe in this scenario I can possibly take responsibility, but you know, if the weather outside is exactly, you know, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, then maybe, you know, like, what? I'm sorry, are you not a grown ass adult? But it's weird. But it's weird because she'll take responsibility and she'll pretend to be responsible in a slight against me when she's talking about her responsibilities as a mother and as a wife when it comes to taking care of the household. But it's like, well, does Drag have? Because one of the other statements that was made was, well, does Drag not take care of his kid? Well, here's something really interesting about me. My child is fiercely fucking independent. It's almost like he was taught to be that way. And for people who have seen my son just off camera, he knows where to stand, he knows how to address me, and he knows how specifically that this household runs. 46 videos, yes. I probably watched 3 of them. My son knows good and goddamn well that if I am making a video, where he needs to be at, where he needs to stand, because I don't want him on camera. Some people have seen him, some people haven't, oh well. But I don't want him ruining my fucking video. But there's a certain time frame in which I address things specifically of his needs. And if there is something that he just so happens to want on a whim, he knows how to wait in between an extended pause. It's almost like he's trained to be disciplined at a young age. It's almost as if there's a household that instills certain values within him that he doesn't come in and interrupt me every 2 fucking seconds. It's almost like he is able to maintain some semblance of control and discipline that his parents instilled within him. It's crazy how that works, huh? Absolutely insane that a household could run that way. I don't like it. It's almost insulting that she thinks that every other fucking child just runs and screams their fucking head off. People hardly ever hear my son for a reason. Because he's actually trained not to be a fucking wild child. Like, is it that crazy? No. He gets excited when he plays his laptop. Were you saying something? Yeah, you gotta tag me, Shanny Mom. Because there's a lot of stuff going through here. I have 3 normal children. Shannon has borderline personality disorder that developed after a gang rape she endured when she was 16 years old. Okay. So, which is unfortunate. Which is absolutely unfortunate. And that's a part of her story that I won't ever deny. I do believe that did happen, but my God, there's only so much that you can blame on stuff in your past. I mean, I'd say that's akin to me having horrible experience, like racial experiences, and then saying, well, you know what, I'm just going to go throughout life, you know, with the incapability of taking responsibility because of said event. Like, and I completely understand that having a diagnosable mental disorder is going to impact people's ability to have you know, logical, rational conversation. But hell, if you are cognizant of that, then you need to make adjustments accordingly. Still trying to figure out what we're going to eat tonight. We're meeting a YouTuber tonight. Hold on. Mrs. D is sending shit. I gotta fix. Hold on, folks. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. By the way, we are. What time is it now? Shit. Oh, what time is it? Okay. So in about four or 5 hours, we're meeting a YouTuber who's in town right now. He's gonna come see Mrs. D, me, and Pret. So we're gonna go out to eat. But the crazy thing, I took care of myself. Meaning I always did my work. God damn, I got to slow down this chat and maintain myself while acting like a man. And that's something that is admirable. That's something that you should look for. And that's something that was instilled within me from a young age. And Pret's the same way, and my other 2 younger brothers as well. And so Baytown Mexican can come. I'm just not. I don't have a time frame. I have a time frame. I don't have a solid time just yet. So we'll see. But the thing here is that the hypocrisy, like, it amazes me, and it amazes quite a few other people. Where, on the one hand, Shanny wants to make baseless assertions because evidently she has evidence now that somebody under one of the names, one of the Ridgeways, and by the way, there's like 16 of them. Last count, I believe there's about 16 of them. 16 people who are in the Gary Ridgway network. And if you were not aware of that, that number is still growing from what I've been told. Now, mind you, listen to what I'm saying, what I've been told. I only get information from I know who probably 3 of them are. The rest of them, I have no fucking idea. I don't think there's any. I think even some of the Ridgeways themselves know who the other Ridgeways are. Because they're a lot like, what did idiots say? Anonymous. They're a lot like Anonymous. Oh, he just quit. Oh, okay. They're a lot like Anonymous. So in that aspect, there's no one person who knows who all of them are. And even if I did, why would I say anything? Since the issue here is that, well, some people are supposed to take responsibility for the actions of others. Well, why is that? Why, if people that surround themselves with particularly toxic idiots from New Jersey don't want to take responsibility for his actions, then why is the onus upon others to take responsibility for the actions of people who are technically not really associated with us in the first place? That's what I understand. And even when we had entire hangouts, there was an entire hangout, and I want to say Hogtie was there. He might have even hosted it. Who knows? Where we discuss the morality. And there was a Talking Shit Tuesday episode. There was a Talking Shit Tuesday episode on what are the Ridgeways doing? Do we even like this? Is this something that we should, as a community, is this what we should tolerate? You know, how did this even come to be? Where do they come from? There was an entire Talking Shit Tuesday talking about that. Like, and that's what, and it amazes me because no matter how many hangouts happen, I have an entire video of me admonishing the Ridgeways. Again, weird, because if I was one, why would I need to make a public video admonishing them? I'm still trying to figure that one out. And I named it something like really crazy, like a decree, you know, an official decree, Dragon Lord decree or some bullshit like that. It had the word decree in it. And it was late at night, specifically about people ordering like pizzas and shit like that. Specifically. So Again, some things don't add up. Some things don't add up. Yeah, she is the breadwinner, technically. But I pay the bills here, though. So, even with all that, these idiots still believe a functionally illiterate man-child fucking retard who can't even get his own life together. They'll believe this idiot instead of actually saying, you know what? Let me see if there's any actual evidence to any of this stuff that could be admissible in a court of law. Is this even worth a civil trial? Because people keep mentioning this. Simply pay it. Okay, there we go. Marked by moron. Put it in the chat. There it is. Me admonishing the same organization of people that I'm supposedly a part of now. Weird. Not to mention the text messages back and forth that I have with one of them. I don't fucking know. Where we're discussing what to do and what not to do, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So it is weird to me that, again, the same people who are complaining about the morality or the moral barometer of the Ridgeways are the same people who have no problem watching shit go down in flames. Have no problem whatsoever. Well, I tapped him on the PP and I said I personally wouldn't like that. Okay, so then what the fuck do you want any of us to do then? Because whether they want to believe it or not, and this is completely up to them. The members of the Clarence crew, who may or may not be involved in a particular G+ community. I'm still playing the game. I don't care. They are responsible for the emergence of the Ridgeways. Whether they want to believe it or not, whether they want to take responsibility or not, the reason the Gary Ridgeways are even a thing are because of their actions. Point blank fucking period. Point blank period. The Ridgeways have openly stated the reason why we decided to get together and do the things that we do are because of the actions of specifically one individual and the people that enable them. It's like how Batman is responsible for his Rose Gallery. Hey, like and that's the fun thing. These people exist here not because they have a strong conviction in some deity or whatever. They're here to coddle someone who is an absolute functionally illiterate retard that is maladjusted and who has no other choice but to pretend that he has a life here. That's it. That's the only reason they're even here. Because the only time you hear from them is when they need to go and suck off this individual. That's it. So then you have to ask, well, what is your worth? Oh, it's gone by too fast. It's acting out frustration. Yeah. Thank you, Tyler. They're just acting out of frustration. Yeah, they're just acting out of frustration. You know, so we can't blame the Ridgeways because they're just acting out of frustration. There we go. Thank you. That was the other bullshit that I couldn't remember the other line that was offered to absolve this idiot from any responsibility. He kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. Everyone's just bullying him. They just keep picking on him. And when you pick, people get upset. Pick. Oh, really? That's how it worked. Is that how it works? So when did my 7-year-old fucking son get on here and pick on the retard? When did that happen? Let me find a video on where a fucking 7-year-old did that. Where did Mrs. Drag get on here and do that? Huh? Where did Fiona's husband get on here and do that? Huh? Maybe I missed that video. Maybe I was asleep. Pick. That's all that happens. Pick. And he just lashed out. Well, guess what? The Ridgeway is lashing out too. And he gonna feel that shit. Shit. Pick. pick. So, but that doesn't go. That's not. It's not the fact that but expecting the CCP to know what admonish means. Shadow, you are absolutely right. I should not have used that word. Shadow is absolutely right, and I take that correction. I should have known better than to use that word. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't even realize. What are you saying, Miss Star? I don't know how to slow down the chat. I have no idea. But man, I do kind of sound like Ken Jones when I do that. That is true. Pick. That's all you guys do is pick. That's all I remember. Forget that he lied, losing his job, and yep. But that's just lashing out, Tyler. No, Tyler, that's just lashing out. That's okay. It's lashing out. You know what? When people pick, when they pick. That's what happens. So they shouldn't be upset because of the Ridgeways. That's what's happening now. You know, the Ridgeways are people who are in this community and they get picked on, and so they're just lashing out together. It's a collective lashing out. You know. So they all have their own like cat of nine tails, and they're all just kind of, you know, 1, 2, you know, kind of just gets compounded because there's lots of them. Could you imagine getting hit by like 3 people who have a cat of nine tails? So and I just thought about people probably. You can probably guess what a cat of nine tails is from the description. But anyway, yes, lashing out orgy. Okay, ew. Can you please greet me, dear Lauren? I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So school shooters that kill students for being bullied are just lashing out. Yeah, exactly, Froze. Exactly. They're just lashing out with weapons. It's okay. It is okay. It's fine. When they lash out, it's acceptable, and their actions are perfectly in line with what happened. Perfectly. Yeah, we're gonna do some more. By the way, Bull Piss. Vincent figured out who our guest is gonna be next week, and y'all gonna love this. Y'all gonna love it. Y'all are gonna love this guest. Oh man, I wasn't gonna make it to 2 weeks anyway. Surprise, folks. I knew I wasn't gonna make it because of the guest that we have Sunday. Because I can't wait. I've been waiting for this for a while. Oh, Vincent, you still there? Hey, you might as well know. Somebody who hasn't actually been in the community, but I've been referencing. Vincent might not be. Yeah, Vincent, you want to tell the people in the chat who our guest is, our first guest for this Sunday? Because he watched the first half and he loved it. He's like, yeah, I definitely want to. Definitely want to come on. Tommy Sotomayor, no, I wish Neil deGrasse Tyson, no. Yep, there we go, Vincent got it. No, we're still trying to secure Tyson. That's still in the works. Yeah, we have a strict no spouse abusers on the show, so yes, his brother will be our first guest. Yes, folks, yes. Oh man, like I said, I wasn't going to make it the 2 weeks anyway because of that, you know. Yes, yep. So get ready for some butthurt. Get ready for some so good butthurt. So good butthurt. This butthurt is going to be epic. If you've not seen Booty Hurt yet, until you're going to see this, because he is raw. He goes live on Facebook almost every fucking day too, and if you see the way that he addresses certain topics, he is a lot like me when he's going to say what's on his mind, unfiltered. It's going to be subjective, arbitrary, but hurt. Very, very subjective. Oh man. So his brother will be on next Sunday. He will be our very first guest. We didn't want to start off the show with guests because it's our show is not going to be about parading around the people who have notoriety, and it's just a show of our ability to suck them off and convince them to come on. It's going to be based on us and our ability to present topics, and humorous topics at that, and also engage with people from a variety of backgrounds. So it's no, not heavy, not necessarily. There will be some confirmation of certain things that we've thought, but it's going to be based on his interpretation of things, because and he and I had an exchange this morning. Like, he does want to challenge us on a few things, because his idea of building better communities, specifically building black communities, is a stark contrast to his brother and to other people. So he will come on, and he's probably going to disagree with me on certain things, or he might disagree with MP, or we don't know. Like, it's like none of the stuff on there is like, because one of the interesting things about the show is that we don't actually know what each other's going to say. We know what the topics are, but we don't sit and rehearse anything. The challenge, the bet for me mentioning certain people, I had no idea about that at all, whatsoever. Had no idea. So the ability for us to have organic conversations with one another is going to be preserved through a bit of kind of a bit of a barrier, a bit of a barrier. Note the comments. Hold on for a second. Okay, sorry about look at that. I was not aware. Thank you, Bold Piss, for drawing that to my attention. I had no idea that someone looked at the name and on principle decided that they knew the content of the entire show. That's very interesting. It's almost like judging a book by its cover. It's kind of a little bit of irony there. But if having the word black in the title deters people, then they're fucking stupid. Like, I don't know what to tell them. So I'm not even going to engage in that. Like, if people are honestly that fucking stupid, then they don't need to watch. I don't want them around either, because it's not about coddling people. Because we had there was the joke in the stream where someone got really offended, Mark Seidel, and he said, well, what if we started a three white Christians group show? Okay, cool, don't fucking do it. Like, who was actually being offended here? Like, I'm not offended. Like, someone else said too, when this was first brought to my attention, they already got that. It's called the Bible Thumping Wingnut Show, and which is funny because that's exactly what it fucking is, with a few tokens. But who fucking cares? Like, if you're not about the content, like it's if you're not about the content, then what are you actually complaining about? What are you actually complaining about? I don't know if Shani's still streaming. I don't care. Like I said, her stuff was still showing up in my feed, so that's the only way I even caught it. I am being racist again. Yes, my jokes about CP time were very racist toward black people. In fact, we were going to have when we are running a little bit late, there will be a bit of a racist joke at the beginning with a title card on that CP time. So that will be incorporated into the show. I don't know about that 8-bit. Thanks. Yeah, and it wasn't. There was never any indication that this is going to be exclusively the black people. If that were the case, I would never talk to Lalandra Raw the other day. I'm not interested in talking to Shani about nothing until she stops all her fucking hysteria. Once she calms the fuck down and removes her head from her ass, then maybe we can chat. But right now, no. She should take care of her fucking husband. Can concentrate on that. So, it's crazy. What's it? Apparently silently waiting for the call for 51 minutes now. Oh. To stop living. Quite sad. I mean, there's lots of you can say Shani and cringy and just stop right there. I mean, that's just There's a show, like, should we have named it like the Three Negroes Talk About Stuff? Like, I don't know, like, what is a more suitable title that people find appeasing to them and doesn't hurt their sensibilities? Like, I mean, if anything, shouldn't we be the ones offended? Like, I don't. She spoke to the police live on air. Oh Lord. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did catch her boy comment. I noticed that when she got a little upset, she started referring to me as boy. Yeah, don't think I ignored that. I caught that. I caught that. Yeah. Oh yeah. So, yeah, she slips up every so often. So, again, I just tucked that one away. I said that's okay, Shaddy. That's okay. You know. What is calling the police? So Shani is under the impression now that some evidently something's happened to her, and she's incriminated herself, or excuse me, she's implied that I am somehow associated with some individual doing something, individual situations that are somehow involved with her, because one of them claimed to be me. She doesn't have any actual evidence as to who it was or if it was me. She just figures it was because they said so. Now let me get this right. The people who are harassing you, supposedly, and calling you, are also telling the truth to you, and so they would be inclined to also be very truthful and reveal to you their identity. So they're smart enough to stay anonymous, but dumb enough to identify someone who does not hide his identity. Like, you sit down and actually think about shit for a second. Just so, what would be the point of me even pretending to be a Gary if I'm just going to do that? Like, why would I even be anonymous? Again, when you're around stupid fucking people, you start thinking fucking stupid. Like, it's just absolutely idiotic. And I'm pretty sure, and I say I won't blame Rev. I will not blame Rev for any of this stuff. Won't do it. Rev is trying to recover. Rev is trying to do shit for himself to progress himself as a person and develop himself, and at least take a step in the right direction. At least take a step in the right direction. That's what he's trying to do. And so now his wife has decided to immerse him into needless bullshit that she made several videos before saying that she didn't want to be a part of. Everyone's just doing, everyone just needs to calm down. Why is everyone getting up in arms? But for some weird reason, she needed to interject herself. Now, it's almost like, it'd be crazy, I don't know, if her mom, was in the chat telling folks, why she does shit like that. But, oh, wait, yeah, that is happening. So now that Shani's mom is telling on her, like, no, she always does this shit. Now the mom is also part of the conspiracy too. It's weird how that works. It's weird. It's just really, really strange how that works. It's just almost like it's a cover for bullshit. Oh, weird. So rather than concentrating on her husband that's recovering, immerses herself in bullshit needlessly when nobody's fucking mentioning her. Nobody's mentioning her. Just needs to, for whatever reason, needs to put her toe and go and make 40 videos towards me. But she's having laughs, she's having fun, she's making it personal, but she's having a good time. Okay, cool. That's fine too. So the second shit starts getting real for her, and she actually, there's some repercussions. There's some repercussions for her immersing herself in something that she previously said that she didn't want a part of, Now all of a sudden it's everyone else's fault. 46 videos? Excuse me, 46 videos. Weird. Weird. It's so weird to me. So it's almost like there's a cause and effect going on. So, because she decided to immerse herself in the drama that she previously said no one should be involved in, period, and the effect was that then she became a target. Supposedly. I've still not seen the evidence of this. I'm just taking her word for it. I don't know why. So, but then, let me get this straight. Let me make sure I got this right. But then it's everyone else's fault now. Because not only, and specifically me, because not only am I one of the individuals who has another online alias under the name Gary Ridgway, I also, underneath this alias, revealed that it was me, thereby making the alias kind of like null and void. So what sense does that make? Why would I even need to use the alias at all? Again, I'm trying to process this, and it still don't make sense. Still does not make fucking sense. But this is what happens when you surround yourself with people who have either a negative fucking IQ or an IQ in the single digits. That is just, it's really strange. But you look at something for a second, folks. You think about it. There isn't this atheist-theist split in a community. It's not that. There are fucking sane people, reasonable people, and fucking idiots. Now you look at when these topics arise, when we actually try and talk about some of these things, you look at the people on the sane and rational side, and you look at their backgrounds, and it's interesting because I love kind of juxtaposing the people who are making a lot of these claims and get up in arms about stuff, with the people who are just kind of like, they're on the other side of that. So you have people who have no background in law now saying what they're going to do legally, but none of them have any actual background in law. Okay. Now all of them are instantly legal experts, and they know exactly what's going to happen. So when someone who's been the assistant district attorney actually breaks it down and says, no, this is not a criminal case, y'all keep referring to it like it is, that's not the case. At best, the best case scenario, it's a civil case. Then they have to go, oh, well, shit, people in our little circle who have no actual expertise or knowledge in this didn't realize that. Ha! So the people on the opposite side that we don't like, oh man, shit, I guess they got a point there. So now it's a civil case. So, but then at the same time, when we go, you know what, this is not even, like, no sane lawyer would actually take this because it's absolutely asinine. They don't listen to that. They don't actually pay attention to that part. But I think it is funny when you look at it that way. I think it is interesting because they'll pick and choose while not actually acknowledging that you really don't have a leg to stand on. It's just, I don't know what it is with folks on G Plus these days. And maybe it's just because I've been having weird exchanges with people. Maybe that's it. He's a law. Okay, maybe the Hood Goblin is a law expert. I don't know. But I doubt it. He doesn't know the difference between DO and DUE. I think that would cause an issue, especially when a lot of the legalese is in Latin. Oh God, no. I mean, the fact that it's in Latin kind of would, throw most folks off, but, Oh, you notice that too? Yeah, she doesn't make the G sounds. I don't know what that's about. There's actually kind of a funny do you call it? Idiosyncrasy? Yeah, idiosyncrasy. That she doesn't pronounce G's at all. Like someone many years ago took her G's. They took all the G's, and so now she has no more. Give Shani back her G's. Give them back. Start a GoFundMe. Give Shani back her G's. But a hangout. Yeah, a hangout. Yeah, notice I was like, oh, what? No, the other day was she was talking about Holy Spackle. She says she can lick my Clint. She can lick your Clint Eastwood. Your Clint. What's a look at Clint Eastwood, or how does that? Oh man, a Clint. I was like, I don't know if y'all caught that. You didn't watch the 46 video? Oh man. Look, silver lining. What if I noticed that? Silver lining. Silver lining, did you give to a particular person's PayPal within the last 2 weeks? Because I think I remember your name coming up in a conversation. I'm curious if I'm remembering correctly. I'm wondering if you're licky phone. You know what? If I was, oh, damn. Okay, it lasted for a little while. Now it cut out. I would, and someone did put in a chat. One of her live chats. Somebody got on a sock account and said that they had contacted Rev's aunts and uncles or some shit like that. And I'm just like, oh shit. Yeah, I would. That was one of the ones. I think I said I watched like out of the 46. I watched like 3 of them, and that's one of the ones that I caught. And I can usually tell who people are by the way that they type. Pretty good at that. And this wasn't somebody young. This is definitely somebody a bit older. But it's interesting because they had specific names. How you doing, Miss Star? Oh, Miss Star, if you want to go out today, there's another YouTuber where I think we're going to go to a steakhouse tonight. We're all going out to eat. Something to say. That person has said in the video that he later took down that he never received any donations since July 15th, but I gave irrefutable proof that he was wrong about that. Really, Silver Lining? That's where your name come up. Okay, so if there is a receipt, thank you. Okay. That's what it was. I remember someone in the drag chat saying that I think it was attached to your name, that there was some proof, or you had some proof that he had lied about that. And so, well, I'm literally not shocked by that at all. He had stated in a video, and I think Rational Mind had given me a link while I was live the other day, where he did say that he had gotten enough money for the rest of that week. So what he would have been paid for the rest of that week, he had gotten in a donation. So it's not surprising that he fucking lied again. I'm not shocked at all. He's a pathological liar. And so, no, $20. So, yeah. You don't like drama, so I was trying to lay low, but at any rate, if I didn't give that out for $5, no, that was a lie. Yeah, and Silver Line, we don't want to toss you into the dog pile, none of the nonsense, and it's not your fault, and I completely understand. Again, that's why Mrs. D stays away from this nonsense, because she don't want to be involved in this. But but because you have integrity, is why you'll be targeted. Unfortunately, that's at the end of the day, because with these people, yeah, I typed out a particular retard in New Jersey's name. Because Shani was lying again. So, no, G-Man's not in Houston. Oh, speaking of that, I did receive a phone call from somebody the other day that a particular retard in New Jersey made a claim that he or someone he knew was going to come here to Houston to handle some business. That comment was quickly deleted, though. So someone did catch that comment and relayed it to me before it was deleted. So I am aware of that little threat. So yes, yeah, people. I guess this idiot forgets that people get notifications when you make comments on our videos, and that it still shows up in the notifications. Even if you delete it, it still shows up there, and you can still see it. So it's stupid, but you know, that's fine. That's the third time I've been threatened with someone else's brother or cousin or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm just as scared as I was the last time I heard a bitch ass threat like that. I'm still gonna go outside and go for my walks. I'm gonna still go to fucking school. I'm gonna still do it on foot, and I'm scared of a goddamn person. So if you got some business to handle, then please come holler at me. Please. Again, I don't know how many times I have to say my cousin is a fucking police officer right around the corner. I'm gonna just arrest your whole fucking family. That's all that's gonna happen. Because don't think that he don't know about this. Come on now, come on. With all the stuff that's been going on, do people not realize that? Yeah, he knows, he's cognizant of what's happening. So it doesn't take very much at all. Because the threats are there. The second you land here, well, you know what? You intend on following through with it. So guess what? That gives people probable cause to pick your ass up. Just saying. Especially on here, you don't actually have any business here in Houston. Man. Well, Holy Spackle, you can lick her Clint. Whatever that Clint is, you better find it and lick it. The Clint Eastwood. I'm pretty sure it's pretty old, but find it and lick it. No, yeah. There's no actual danger. I'm not. That's what they still don't actually know where I live anyway. So, and they won't know. But, so hold on for a second. I think I've been ignoring my wife. Okay. Yeah, hey Vincent, if you do, yeah, hey, feel free, man. Let me know. The YouTuber, yeah, I'm not gonna say his real name, but the YouTuber BKV, we're seeing him tonight. Some of you might have seen him in the chat. He's kind of more of a lurker than anything else, but BKV is visiting us today, and I guess the Baytown Mexican's coming around too once we get a time, so we'll all go out to eat. I think the place is Longhorn Steakhouse. So, you don't want to lick Shani? Oh, but she offered it. Oh, yes, BKV. He is. Well, we're going to Longhorn Steakhouse. I think it's around Gulf Freeway. I think it's the one off of Gulf Freeway. I have to go look at it again. Yes. Well, I already had Indian food today, so, you know, I'm like, because that's one of my default choices, Indian food. But technically, he's right around the corner from me. I could actually walk to his job, but it's hot and I'm lazy, and that'd be kind of awkward if I just showed up at that building. So I'm not gonna do that. So I'll just wait because Mrs. Drag gets off around the same time he gets off. So yeah. So meanwhile, we're shaking in our boots. We're upset and scared, and I don't know what the other emotions that people are supposed to be feeling, but. Evidently, I'm shocked and stunned and intimidated to the point that I'm going out with other YouTubers for dinner. Can picture her saving some for later down. Oh, ew. Oh God. My shit froze. Why is it froze? Lick her Clint. Sure. Charging? Here we go. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, I was actually about to die. Okay. Yeah, it is, man, because I didn't charge my phone after I came back, so yeah. Dirty. Don't look. Y'all can make all the references about Rev's Fun Hole all you want. Alls I know is when I was a kid, I loved crawling through the big ass tunnel and getting lost in there. So that's about the best as I can relate. So, see what's that? Yeah. Oh yeah, Miss Stark. Yeah, right before it cut off, I think you said something about a beach. There is a beach that is close to us. I'm not sure if it's close to you. I'll have to I'll talk to you in the drag chat later about that, Miss Star. Uh, so yeah, I'll contact you in the drag chat. We'll talk about that because there's I don't necessarily remember the name because I've not been there. Just Mrs. Drag and Little Drag have been there, and so for obvious reasons, I'm not gonna give that away. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure you're just as cautious about your personal stuff too. So listen, we could talk privately about that, and you can talk to Mrs. Drag if you feel more comfortable. That's perfectly fine with me. But yeah. Yeah, they definitely do like going to the beach because I spend most of my time here inside and at the park around the corner and at the school up the street. So so okay, let me explain something because she had mentioned her time in the Navy. Okay, so just like Von Helton, Shang was what we call a washout. Okay, when you don't actually complete your training. When you don't complete your training, you don't really get to call yourself a service member, technically. So, and there is a difference now. There is a difference between someone who went to basic training, right, and couldn't handle it for whatever reason, and had to drop out, and that was it. All right. Thank you, Lucian. But that we call them washouts. We call them washouts. So somebody who goes to because there's before you actually go to your first duty station, whatever branch, you go through the basic training, which is different, of course, for each branch. But then you go to a school for training for your actual job, and that's different. So what ends up happening to some people is why does it keep saying low battery? Self-biology. Something like that all bought. Very close. Boot camp they gave her discharge for personality disorder. Okay, yeah. So the issue here is that if you don't actually complete depending on how many weeks that you get in, you can either become unfit for duty because you just can't adapt, and there's actual terminology for it. I can't remember what it is, but if you do have a medical condition and you get discharged, technically you weren't an actual service member. I hate to break it to you, but you're not. Like my cousin was doing his AIT. Yeah, Hogtie, if you want to start a hangout, thank you, Xavier. Failure to adapt. I couldn't remember what it is. Failure to adapt. So please, Hogtie, and go ahead and make the hangout now, Hogtie, because I've already lost the bet anyway, so I don't care. But so my cousin has a intestinal issue that it never suffered from, that just arose while he was a nuke in the Navy, and so he was not actually assigned to an actual unit. He wasn't assigned to a carrier or what have you. He was still in training. He was a few weeks from graduating, and he had to get medically discharged, right? But the shit is that, he does collect compensation from the VA. He does. Because of that. Because he never had any issues before then. It wasn't, so if it was something that was missed, and that they already had it coming in, no. But more than likely, something in his training triggered, whether it was stress, whether he was exposed to something, that triggered a change in his body. His physiology changed, or there was a physiological change, I should say, because of something elicited from his military service that he was doing. Okay, so there are differences in how people get discharged, but and that needs to be stated. Now, of course, my cousin is still considered a veteran, but the conditions on how someone becomes a veteran do vary. Someone having a DD-214 will tell you a lot about that specifically. And I showed a picture of my DD-214 where it says honorable discharge, where I only did 4 years, but I served my fullest capacity, and I just technically finished 4 years of individual ready reserve. Because and I rarely talk about the whole thing, is that my contract was actually 8 years. So even if you have something already come in, aggregation of the thing can give you a percentage. Yeah, that is true. That is true, because if it gets aggravated, if there's some type of, and I don't want to relate it to vaccines because it gets kind of convoluted, but you can have something that's fine. If you get exposed to some chemical agent that that aggravates it and exacerbates it, then yeah, because technically now the military has done something to hurt you. But there are certain conditions where you ain't getting shit. Now I don't know what Shani's issue is, but from what I've heard, it sounds like she was medically discharged, and that mentally she could not handle the rigors because of whatever her mental disorder is, which is unfortunate. She might have made a great sailor. I don't know. So, but saying that she was in the Navy, that I'm gonna tell you right now, actual sailors and shit, they're not gonna let that fly, because you weren't actually assigned to a unit. You can't say that you were. You were still in training. You weren't. Your training unit is not an actual unit. As far as TRADOC is technically, yes, on paper it is a unit. Yes, absolutely. And I've learned that when I say certain things, especially concerning people in the military and certain things, the lingo, the jargon and stuff that we use, it doesn't translate very well into civilian. Because I had a conversation with Warning today, who was watching the Three Black Heathens, and he was making a statement. He was making a statement about Jeff Sessions and his rank as captain in the reserves. And so, and I had to sit down and think about it. And I was like, what did I say about Sessions? I was like, about his bravery. Okay. Now, in my mind, I go, here we go. Another fucking civilian doesn't really understand what I was saying. None of us active duty guys actually consider reservists to be brave. When they deploy, sure, but if they're in a POG unit and you don't deploy, no, fuck no. But that doesn't translate well into civilian, and so I said, okay, I'll go ahead and concede, yes, fine, he was in the military, he was brave, fine, whatever. If you're offended by the comment that I made, or you feel that it was factually incorrect, absolutely fine, because it's not worth me sitting down explaining to somebody who's never gotten the gall themselves to serve what we actually mean when we say that. When I give Slim Jim shit about being a reservist and that he's not a real soldier, that's between us. That is a intra-service joke, because we say that he's playing soldier rather than being one. Actually doing this shit 24/7, of course, is a lot more rigorous than doing it on the weekends. Now, I admire Jim for his service. Don't ever mistake me chiding him as denigrating him, like in real life. I'm being facetious, but it is an intra-service joke. But then I have to remember that doesn't translate into people who've never served. So if my arrogance in that respect is masking the humor in that, then you'll have to forgive me. But no, I'm not impressed with reservists. I'm sorry. Yeah, because my thing is, if you were whole, if he was whole, if you were full of whole, as we say, then you would have done it 24/7 and joined the regular army. When you actually fill out paperwork, it specifies regular army or reserve. So you're part of the regular army, the regular, and it actually does say that. If you actually look at paperwork, it actually says regular army. So that's why we fuck with him, because it's funny. So yeah, if you guys were wondering, Jeff Sessions did serve. He was a captain in a reserve unit. He was a part of maintenance. So he was a part of Xavier's people. He was in a fucking Pogue unit. Anyway, that's yeah, I'd forgotten about that. So yeah, inter-service, yeah, and it still goes on, and it's funny as hell, because I still mess with my cousin. When I see Xavier, I mess with Xavier. You know, and it's just, you know, yeah, she didn't get past boot camp. That's he's right there with Von Helton, but it's not for everybody. I mean, Von Helton didn't make it either, so there's someone else in the community too who couldn't stay disciplined enough to make it to AIT. Yep. But he takes it in stride. I'll give him that. He has matured. I can't mess with Pruden too much. So, yeah, okay. And Molly gets my point. You know, have reservists been activated into any combat? Oh my fucking god! Warning. Oh, okay. Again, I'm about to explain something. So warning. Do you know that each unit doesn't get there is no monolith of reserve units, okay? There exists individual reserve units that serve as attachments, okay? Some of them are large enough to serve as their own independently, but they get activated independently. That's not how this works. So can somebody who's actually served in reserve please explain how this shit works? Because it is absolutely fucking frustrating to explain this stuff to folks who just don't seem to understand that what they think is the case is not really how this shit happens. I mean, it's just because it's stuff like that you could honestly look up. Like, you could honestly look this stuff. It's not very hard. You can actually look up, you know. There was a reserves unit deployed in Afghanistan last 20 years. Yeah. There were individual ones. There was actually one in my hometown. No. And it wasn't Slidell. It was Lafayette. Lafayette's reserve unit was deployed a few times within the last 10 years. But his in particular was a maintenance group. But then he served during the 70s. So it's possible he wasn't part of a detachment, but I'm not aware of any actual fucking deployments that he served on. So I don't know. I don't believe, and maybe it got overlooked, but reserves and National Guard are not the same thing. They're actually different. But I call them the nasty girls, actually. But I think it stands to say that if we're going to talk about these things, there definitely needs to be a better line of communication, because there's so many things that just don't translate very well, and it's hard to explain. And you know, hopefully that hangout about hazing kind of sort of illuminated a few things, but a part of me feels as though we just made it worse. I don't know. I had to leave and go meet Baytown Mexican, and we went out to drinks and shit. So, but after that, Sokka and Jared and all the other guys, Imbo and God, who else was there? There was quite a few people in there. There was Lord Crocoscoral was in there, I think. Yeah, Average Joe, I think you just recently joined. Yeah, the reservists. And so it's the weird thing. The weird thing is actually, no, I'm not even going to that, because that's not even, yeah. I was like, that's not even necessary. Yeah. So I don't know what units Von Helton is claiming to be a part of. He might have said it, but I've watched a few videos and I've not heard. Yeah, Lord Quacker Squirrel was in Jared's hangout. I think he's old school army. Oh, you got out in 2011 from the submarine force. Oh, okay. um, does anybody have a? Because now that I think about it, I don't remember him saying what unit he served in. Well, no, because that was the thing. That was the thing. He didn't have a. I keep forget. So he talks about in a video because he's arguing with Ermine about him being a veteran, but then he was a washout. And then someone in the chat, well, someone in the hangout was telling him, well, no, technically you were a washout. And so he was getting upset. Yeah, okay, it was a tanker, but and there's nothing wrong with saying tanker, but does he ever actually say what his MOS was? Like, does he actually say like the tanker MOS? Which I know it's not a 13 series. I know it's not an 11 series. I forget what tanker is. He claimed to be a tank driver. A tank driver working on his tank after. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, cuts out a fucking read. Okay. Working on his tank after hours. Look, folks, there you don't get discharged. You don't get fucking drummed out for working on your vehicles. There is no after hours. That's not if you're part of regular army, that doesn't exist. Okay? He says he was part of First Cav. I think I might have heard that, and that's probably what I keyed in on that annoyed me as well, because that means he and I would be calf brothers. Because I was in the Cav, and everybody Cav, yeah. Like he got radiation poisoning from having his balls depleted uranium. Come on. He was in a Cav. Get the fuck out of here. Really? I know he's on YouTube now, Utah Gun Exchange. And there's people who are copying his videos and putting them over here. So that's the only way I've been. Actually, let me see if they've updated anything, because I've not checked it out in a few days. He's usually bitching about something or other. Yeah, I was listening to that conversation, Boy Piss, where he was talking to Ermine, and I'm like, dude, just stop. Because if he didn't finish his training, well, how would he be a part of how would he be part of fucking First Cav if he didn't even finish AIT? Because he wouldn't have been assigned a unit until the last 2 weeks. That didn't make any sense. I just thought about that. Hold on, he's bullshitting. And I'm missing shit in the chat. That doesn't make sense. Vaughn ruined his own life. I think that was one of the channels. It doesn't make sense. He can't be a part of First Cav and was a washout. First Cav isn't a TRADOC group. It's not. That makes no sense. That makes no actual fucking sense. You can't be in training and also assigned to a fucking combat unit. That's not how that works. Unless you've already gotten to First Cav, been assigned to First Cav, and then you've gone you've PCS'd, or no, I'm sorry. You've gone TDY, and you're going to school, right? Then you can be a part of TRADOC technically, because you're going back to school, but then you're still you're temporarily assigned to that, but you're a part of First Cav. A First Cav membership card, where he doesn't need, what does he mean, a membership card? You get your unit patch. What the fuck is he talking about? What the hell? You don't have no the cat. I what? What? You see, this is why. This is why I wanted to talk to him, because he's so full of shit. He'd be assigned to a unit. No. So when you're assigned to a unit in AIT, that is your unit. If before you become a full-fledged soldier, you are assigned, because I was assigned to Charlie Company 343, the 343rd Medical Battalion in Fort Sam Houston. That was my unit at the time. Okay? When I graduated from AIT at Fort Sam Houston, like 2011 or some shit. I don't remember when. It's like a few years ago. When I graduated from there, I received orders 2 weeks out to be assigned to the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. Okay, the 11th Armored Cav. So from like 2011 to 2014, roughly around that time, I was assigned, and I have on my enlist, because what he should have shown people, there is no membership card. That I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's called an ERB, an enlisted record brief, I think, something like that. ERB, enlisted. Fuck, Xavier, help me out. Enlisted records briefing or some shit like that, where it pretty much shows your accolades, where you've received all your training, when you enlisted, the length of your current contract, any awards like ARCOMs and shit like that. At the bottom, on the bottom left on mine, it shows where I've been assigned in the past few years, my past few units. It'll show that I was a part of Charlie Company, and when I was at Fort fucking Benning, doing basic training, it will show that I went to Fort Sam Houston for the 343rd Medical Battalion. And then it will also show that I was a part of the 1st Squadron, 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment, Headquarters and Headquarters Troop. And then underneath that, it'll say that I was a part of the 1st Squadron, 11th Armored Cav, 1st Squadron of Alpha Troop as an ambulance driver. So that's what it's supposed to show. It like what he's talking about, this membership card, makes no sense. There's actual fucking paperwork to show what the fuck's going on. He's so full of shit. What the fuck is Shanny doing? So, and this is why I said I wanted to talk to Vaughn, because he, like, if you've never really served, it's hard to pick this shit out. Like, it's really hard to tell, for me to tell somebody, well, I can sit here and say, yeah, he can have this ERB and stuff, but like, if I sat down and asked him, okay, so when you first, Shanny is, she's fucking him on live. What? Come on, man, don't say that. So if you, when you get received into a new unit, there's a certain set of things that are going to happen on every unit. And just within the first few minutes of me talking to somebody, I can tell whether or not, where you show a Friends of the First Cav membership card has a 1 Cav pack. Okay, that sounds like a Facebook group. That's what it sounds like. What the fuck is going on? Over here beating walruses. So here's the weird thing. I guess it's weird, I guess it's unique. If you've ever served, you can talk to someone for less than 5 minutes and figure out whether or not they've served. Because there's shit that's the same across the board. The same. It doesn't matter. And when I listen to Vaughn talk, it sounds like he's just saying shit. Like he's just pulling shit out of his ass because none of it makes any sense. You know, whether he's talking about being first received into his unit, or whether he's talking about what he was actually doing.
I'm working on that.
Wait, I could join Friends of First Cav, and I'm not entirely allowed in your country. Yeah, and Hogtie, that's what I'm talking about. Like if he actually wanted to show, because I can go and look up, I can go and grab some of my paperwork and dig through it, and I can find my enlisted record brief. I can actually go find it if I wanted to. I can go find, but here's the thing, I could go grab my patch. I'm pretty sure if I go and look on one of my old uniforms, I can still find my 11th Armored Cavalry patch, and I can describe it to you right now. It's a big ass fucking horse that's in some type of like weird like teardrop shape. Well, there's a diamond. No, it's a weird teardrop shape, and has a slash going through it, and it's red and white background for that weird teardrop shaped thing. I can describe to you what the 11th Armored Cavalry patch looked like because I looked at it every day. But I mean, even then, someone can go and say, "Oh yeah, it's part of 11th." But the weird thing with mine is that no one ever says that, you know, yeah, I'm from the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. No one ever acknowledges that they're from my old unit. People don't like my unit, so that's one of the things that people like. I instantly, when I tell them, other service members go, "Wait, you were part of what?" Because they don't know about my unit. Well, again, this is something that's hard for me to explain. People know about my unit. People, if you've been in the Army, Marines, even some Navy know about my unit. They know where it is, but they know it by another name. They don't know it as the 11th Armored Cav. They know it as NTC or Fort Irwin, but they don't know the actual unit that resides there. So, you know, that's where kind of one of the hiccups comes in. I don't know what I'm listening to either. It's weird. They don't know my unit. So if someone would say, "Oh yeah, I'm with 4th Infantry Division," okay, cool. That like people will make up stuff when they're trying to pretend to be a soldier. They'll say, "Yeah, I'm part of 2nd ID. I'm part of 2nd Infantry Division." Okay, cool. And first Cav, yellow background, black stripe, upper left to lower right. Now, horse head in the upper right. The first ID uses a badge and their friend's membership card. Yeah. So yeah, you could describe what it looks like, but you know, how do you actually tell someone's been in that unit? Well, when you're talking to somebody, another potential service member, you ask them, okay, well, you know, who do you know in that unit, and through what time did they serve there? Oh yeah, you know, First Sergeant McKenzie. You know, you start with somebody, usually like a battalion commander or a battalion sergeant major, and you work your way down. Like you'll just, oh yeah, I knew Sergeant Major Jones. Yeah, he was over with 131. You know, something like that. You know, so the issue with my unit is that once people know where I'm from, they don't question it. Like that's, oh, you're part of that group. Oh, okay. Ah, ha, ha, ha. They start laughing. Because it's not, people don't go to my base willingly. You know, people go, oh yeah, I was with the 11th Armored Cav. That's not something to brag about. It's like, life sucks. They go, I see why you're out of the military now. That place sucks. Yes, it does. Yes.
That's wonderful.
This is what the fuck is it? This is weird. Yeah, that's Nate. Oh, speaking of which, I need to. I need to send something real quick. Need to get the link to the live chat and put it in here. quiet because I know I'm going to forget later if I don't do it. After we come back, I got to clean up. My mother-in-law is going to be here. Okay. Okay, there we go. I got the link. Okay. Here. That's the link. Okay, here we go. All right. Oops. All right. Nope, not getting $100. Ah. More people to come in. I let everybody know what happened, but there we go. Somebody's more than $20. There we go. Yeah. Somebody was asking to see what what my watch list's like. I might show y'all one day. But some of y'all are going to be disgusted because some things that just come across the Google Tube I just click on. Like some of those videos about extractions, like have really like calcified things being removed out of orifices and stuff like that. That comes and I just click on it. I was like, all right, whatever, cool. I'll click on that. Oh, this guy is Japanese street food, giant parrotfish sashimi. Okay, I'll click on that too. Why not? So, you know, let's click on it. So yeah, that's what it's a mixture of that, and I'm cleaning out the clownish people out of my stuff. Definitely cleaning them out. So here's something I've been watching a lot of actually. Binging with Babish. Binging with Babish. You can thank fucking Sam the Scientist for that. I just like this guy cooks like the food from TV shows and movies and stuff like that. So if you like for Bob, he'll make Bob's Burger from Bob's Burgers. If you've seen the movie El Jefe, the dish that the guy is trying to introduce at the beginning of the movie, and the restaurant he's working for is like, no, I don't want that. So he goes and I'm not going to spoil the whole movie, but basically that dish from El Jefe, he has that on there. Deadpool pizza from Deadpool. Godfather cannolis. Shawarma from the Avengers. Creme brulee from I don't know what this is, something in Emily. I don't know what the fuck that is. Whatever. I think he does do Big Kahuna Burger. I believe so. I'm pretty sure I saw that last week. I've not watched all of these. There's season 1 episode 76, 77. There's season 2. I don't know how many episodes. If it looks cool, I'll click it, and that's basically it. Yes, tonsil stone extractions are something that I watch. Yes, so I'll watch those. So by the way, this is going to. I've watched all what are they called, the tonsileths? I think they're called tonsileths. I've watched like probably 20 videos of that throughout this whole year. I've watched those. I watched a hip replacement. I've watched. There's a name for the procedure where it takes the penis and turns into a vagina. I watched that procedure. I watched there's something I watched last night. It's in my history. I'll tell you what it is. So, I've watched a lot of medical stuff because it fascinates me and disgusts me too. Japanese street food, omelets. Chiropractic compilations. I'm not really interested in having that done to me. Just watching people have it done and the cracking and shit like that. I love watching that. Like Indian head massages and shit like that. I watch that. Of course, there's anime kind of interspersed in here. There's some stuff in Spanish. Oh, there is a dandruff problem solution. I was like, oh, that reminds me of Mr. ID, so I'll watch that. So it's someone who's taking like large chunks of of dandruff skin flakes, and it's pulling them up, and they're being like, they look like spaghetti, you know, around the crust, and she's just pulling them up using tweezers. It is like, why am I fucking watching this? Like, I have no idea why I'm watching this. There's some guy doing magic tricks where he's trying to, like, acting like he's gonna pull a rabbit out of a, you know, some type of claw, and he's just like touching the girl's tits and shit like that. And I'm waiting for the one girl like to sock him in the throat, but they just kind of laugh and giggle and push his hand away. And I'm like, he just grabbed like a handful of titty, and then they just kind of laughed it off. And I'm like, what country is this? I think it's Russian, actually. It's just in Russian. So it's I was watching USC student first chiropractic visit by Dr. Rahim Gonstead, chiropractor. And the reason I looked at it, because his girl's back is hairy as shit. I was looking at the comments to see if like, am I tripping? Like, I've not seen a woman with a hairy ass back like that. Yeah, I'll let you know, Xavier, when we get a time. So I've been watching that. Oh, I watched Chateaubriand steak from The Matrix with Benjamin Babish. I need to finish watching Japanese humphead parrotfish sashimi. This thing looks fucking crazy. So yeah, if y'all are wondering, I'm watching something from the Action Lab. Is it possible to melt wood in a vacuum chamber? I was watching this guy make a Japanese street food live fugu pufferfish. Home remedies for a cracked dry heel. Where he's taking a Dremel tool, and his fucking feet, his heel, like where the calcaneus is, looks awful. It looks fucking awful. It looks like there's layers of just dead skin caked upon other dead layers of skin, and those layers are cracking open. It's just fucking crazy. He's taking an actual Dremel tool to it, and you see the skin it's just flying. I'm like, oh, that's so nasty, but it's so cool. I've been watching that. How to make ramen, because I was like, why not? So I am listening to ASMR stuff just to try it out. I heard people were into that thing, so then I land this section. Yes, the Google tube. I'm looking at different stuff on Google, because there's lots, or YouTube, there's lots of shit on here. And I'm listening to this girl. Her name is Ting Ting. I guess she just said, "Fuck it, I'll just go for the stereotypical Chinese name." So I've been listening to Ting Ting ASMR and trying to induce that feeling, the ASMR feeling, in my spinal region. Yeah, a lot of Ting Ting. I did watch a blackhead extraction from someone's ear, which was absolutely fucking crazy. I don't know what, like, it just looked disgusting. I got a big, like, sigh of relief once everything was out, but I'm just like, how does it, like, what in the, I can't. Like, I try not to watch this around Mrs. Drab because she gets disgusted. But it doesn't bother me. Super Acid versus a Tangerine. I was watching that. Draining Cauliflower Ear from BJJ. This was it. Yeah, so this is in Russian, but it is a treatment that a Russian doctor is using on a little girl for sinusitis. And it's in English. Hold on, part of it's in English. I don't care about Slender Man. Okay, come on. Okay, treatment for sinusitis in children. And it's a device. It looks like it opens up the sinus cavity, and then there's another tube that goes in to deliver the medicine. And so I think the first tube occludes the space once that second tube is in there, and then there's a syringe that pumps the actual medicine in there. And so you see him kind of, I guess, I don't know what that term, but it looks like when I titrate, media, that same action, it looks like he's doing that, but except he's holding the syringe horizontally, and he's delivering the medicine, and so she's laying on her side, and so he's pumping his medicine in there, and you see, her shit starts draining, and it is kind of nasty, but it is kind of interesting at the same time because the little girl looks miserable as hell. So it looks like she got some relief from that. So I've been looking at that. Like I said, I'm trying to clean up my watch list from the stupid fucking shit here. How to cook spinach in space. Yeah. So, do I believe the Earth is either oblate spheroid or non-oblate? I believe what the scientific consensus says, morning to people, which is that it is an oblate spheroid. Actually, let me just clear all my history. That'd probably be easier if instead of just me filling it up with shit. There's some weird, I say weird, I know why people watch it. There's Naomi Sexy Cyborg Wu, who is an Asian woman with abnormally large tits, and she really doesn't do anything other than wear clothes and walk around with huge tits. And like there's almost 700,000 views, and I'm like, there's not really much there other than she has huge tits and she walks around. So, I mean, talk to her. I'm stalling for time until you start, by the way. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love tits, but I thought there was a little bit more to the channel. I don't know why I thought that, but so I stopped watching that and I started watching. I think there's a woman on here who is she's trying to copy Grandpa Kitchen. I think she's trying to copy Grandpa Kitchen. Yummy crispy pork frying recipe, and she's doing it outside. I think she's trying to take his thunder. So I was watching her and I was like, yeah, you're trying to be famous like Grandpa Kitchen. You can't be Grandpa Kitchen. You can't do it. By the way, Sokka, this is how you continue to keep people entertained. By the way, slowly. So I was watching a zookeeper feed a hippopotamus a watermelon. So that's entertaining. So, all kinds of shit. It's a dichotomy. Oh my God, no, that it is not a dichotomy. The Earth could be a fucking triangle. It doesn't. No, man, that's no. Just because you give two options for something doesn't mean those are the only two options available. That's like, well, what's your favorite ice cream, chocolate or vanilla? Well, there's 50,000 flavors. No, it's just those two. No, there's more. Now all these extractions. Oh man. Worst black guy in a Japanese dub ever. I can't help but to watch it. I actually phrased it as dichotomy earlier, but it was nearly meaningless. Did he? I'm half paying attention. Why did he put his finger in the fucking lobster cage?
Hey, what the fuck? You got a fucking problem?
Oh God.
I'll cut the living shit out of you, dumbass freaky tourist.
Oh, that is okay. That's really weird dub. If you said it was either yes, if you phrase it like that, warning, then yes, it would be. Do I agree with the dichotomy? No. That is the distinction I'm drawing. I don't agree that it is a dichotomy. I don't agree that that dichotomy actually exists, I should say. Maybe I should be more specific with what I'm saying. But then again, I'm not really paying attention. You know what you gotta do to get famous on YouTube? Grow a big pair of tits and do nothing. That's it. That is absolutely it. Which is a shame because there are interesting people who don't have huge tits. But given the populace here, you know, kind of helps. Kind of helps. Well, people are going to be made of. People are going to think some weird things. I'm just now kind of learning that now that there's a maybe these types of folks always existed, and I simply didn't realize it because I wasn't aware that there are people who think that a person's expertise in an area is inconsequential, or I guess it's not germane to the conversation when they're discussing a topic. So if we're discussing the differences between, let's say, protocol in a TRADOC unit versus a non-TRADOC unit, someone who's had, I don't know, 20 years in the military, like a sergeant major, could just speak to a civilian and they would be on par, right? I'm just now learning that people believe that, you know, they're comparable. If you just look some Wikipedia articles and you watch some YouTube videos, you can pretty much append years of actual experience and knowledge. I didn't know that. This is completely new to me, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, honestly, because it's something that I guess this sort of thing exists strictly on the internet. Like, I don't know. Maybe y'all know people like that in real life, but I don't. You know, people generally, at least in my life, in my line of work, we respect each other's areas of expertise. You know, that doesn't mean that just because you have a lot of knowledge that you're infallible. By no means. I have no problem admitting that half the time in a lot of these conversations, I'm just like, oh God, you know, shoot me in the fucking head, and I'm not giving it my all. Quite frankly, I've not been really enthused about many conversations. It's just kind of like, oh well, let me play nice long enough just to kind of see what folks are saying, and then after that, I'm looking for some cyanide pills. I'm looking for some amygdalin because there's nothing really being offered. It's more of just, okay, well, if I'm just going to speculate and posture for fucking 20 minutes, then I can go stare at my dick in a dark corner and get the same result. Nothing. Like, nothing's going to happen. There's nothing that's going to come of that. And so it's not really stimulating. And so if you are like me, an arrogant asshole, you need stimulation and constant affirmation too. That's constant affirmation, because if that affirmation dries up, then you know, fuck you gonna do, you know. You gotta keep that well. You can't let that well be dry. Cannot allow it to dry out. Can't. Well, of course he's going to delete it. Of course. Well, I mean, people have already caught on to that, so they're going to download the shit anyway. I mean, there's a Shanny backup channel anyway with all this shit. So if you miss it, then you can just go on there and watch it. I mean, it's sad, but I mean that's kind of how things have gone now. It's like, well, if you like, why make the video? Why make a series of videos? And I mean long videos too. Unless there is something, unless your child runs across the camera ass naked, you know, then why take the whole thing down? Because it's only very recently that I said, you know what, there's shit's going off the rails. There's some shits that was said that should not have been said. I'm just killing it. You know, I'm just killing it. So, but how often do I actually ever do that? Very, very rarely. or fabricate when I told you I am a flat earther. I would consider myself more of a questioner, a skeptic. Yo, yeah, that's you don't have to. I mean, I didn't figure that you were a straight on flat earther because you don't have all of the earmarks of a flat earther. Just kind of someone who repeats or parrots a lot of the lines. And some people are probably wondering, well, is there a difference? Yeah, because now people before would say I am a flat earther, and I'm standing against NASA, and then there's a whole conspiracy involved, but there wasn't any conspiracy attached to anything that the newer folks are saying. And the newer folks are kind of what I'm referring to when saying, well, I'm just a skeptic of what the mainstream is being put out there. I'm just skeptical of it, which fair enough. But at what point do you then defer to the same mainstream science to debunk what you consider mainstream science? You can't get around that. Like there's always a set of questions that I like to ask. It's like, you know what? If I really wanted to be as skeptical as I wanted to be, if I say, you know what, I think that there's something genuinely wrong with X theory, then I need to have a certain requisite level of knowledge in order to debunk or refute or to parse out what's actually happening. And so the issue there is that people don't have that requisite level of knowledge. You don't. I can't go and refute, as if that's, refute Neil deGrasse Tyson's, PhD thesis, right? So hypothetically, what would I need to do that? If I think that he completely fucked up his advisors and the board in which he put forth this thesis, or even as a manuscript, they all missed something. They looked over something, or they're corrupt, or whatever conspiracy or nonsense that people want to put forth. Fine, let's just accept it for arguendo, and go with, well, I think that I have the ability to show where he has erred. Okay, cool. So, what would I need to then do to then show that? Well, I would first need to fucking read it. Obviously, I need to have a comprehensive understanding of the topic in order to figure out what the fuck I'm even reading. Like, I would have to do that. There's no way to get around that. You can't, because someone was saying, I think at one point, that they were going to refute Sam's master's thesis. And I said, well, hold on. The first time I looked at Sam's master's thesis, I got a few paragraphs in, and I'm like, this is where my fucking head. Like, I'm barely able to grasp it just to understand it. So that right there tells me that, okay, well, there's knowledge that I lack that I need in order to first understand it. Because how are you figuring that it's wrong when you can't really even understand what's being said? One thing, you've already concluded from the onset that there's something wrong because it doesn't, the conclusions that come from it, that you've somehow ascertained, whatever, you figure that that's wrong. You just skipped all the work that you need to get to there, but you just skip to the end and say, fuck it, it's wrong because I think it's wrong because I know shit and that's cool and whatever. Alright, so if you've not actually looked into the field itself, then how are you even able to read the shit, to even get to the conclusion, right? But I mean, that's my question. Like, I can say, you know what, I'm not feeling chiropractic techniques. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that personally. I don't like when a motherfucker cracks another motherfucker's head, and I hear all this sounds like the C-spine is crying out in pain, like, stop it, But in order, because let's say, well, for me, I could say, well, based on what I feel, well, fuck what Dragnet feels. What is me feeling something, or what me believing something? What does that have to do with what happens mechanically to someone's cervical spine, right? We're just keeping it right there. What do my personal feelings have to do with that? What do my personal beliefs have to do with that? The world doesn't change based on how I feel or how I believe, right? So if I think, if I see someone's head get contorted, and from this torsion that happens from the Gonstead technique or the whatever technique, I think that there's damage being caused. Okay. Why do I think that? Well, I just think that. Okay. Do I have any expertise in this area? I got a few years of varied medical experiences as a paraprofessional, not anything real serious. Have I been formally taught, anatomy and physiology, which will be the bread and butter of this field? No. Have I been taught some anatomy and physiology? Yes, but specifically enough to draw that conclusion? No. There's no way. I can't even recoup the experience and the bit of, I guess you could say formal training from the military, and that doesn't actually translate to the civilian world. It doesn't. That's why I have to actually take the course over again. Okay, cool. So then, well, maybe instead of me waiting for, X number of semesters to take this course and then possibly having a better idea, well, maybe someone's already done the legwork for me. Maybe I could search some peer-reviewed journals somewhere, maybe, and maybe they have found something. Maybe people in the field who know way more than me have come to the same conclusion based on what they've been able to intuit from their knowledge and their experience. Not from just watching a YouTube video or seeing a picture or going on Wikipedia. Something that's really just lazy, honestly. So it's weird to me that you can somehow suspend the requirement to really educate oneself and to get one's hands dirty in light of just, pretty much playing from your incredulity. At the end of the day, that's what it seems, is just more and more arguments from incredulity. I mean, you can dress it up, you can play around with it, you can rely on other people's personal credulity, but that it doesn't, like, the multiple arguments from incredulity don't equal evidence, right? That's not how that works. But that's what I see a lot of the time. And then people kind of mask it under the guise of skepticism. Well, if you're going to be a skeptic, then a part of that is being skeptical of your own claims. A part of skepticism is being able to introspect and say, you know what? Do my own biases play a role in the decisions and the conclusions that I make? Of course they do. The answer is yes. The answer is always yes. But keeping them in check and being aware of them is something that people forget when they taught out. They just say, "Oh, I'm just a skeptic." Well, no, you're being counter to what the mainstream is. You're being an outlier. You're on the fringe, sure, but because you decide, you make an active fucking decision to to go against the grain, so to speak. That doesn't mean that you're actually practicing genuine skepticism. Okay, so I'm going to end this. People, please click on Hogtie's link. I've stalled long enough for Hogtie to go live, and maybe Hogtie can offer something good for the mind whole. Maybe he'll invite Hell in the Handbasket. Who knows? So maybe that will happen. So please go click on the link. Go click on the link. Click on the link now. Go click on Hogtie's link. Hogtie, put the link again before I go off there. Put the link. Linky link. There's like 70 of y'all. Go watch Hogtie. I'll be around there in a second. Actually, let me turn it on here. And where's YouTube? I'm tired. I've just been kind of blathering on. I've been tired. Wonder Vice. Oh shit, Jim was live. I didn't even get a notification. Binging with Babish. Room service for Mad Men. I gotta watch. Man, I can't. I get mad when I watch these because I can't make any of the stuff that he's making because that requires money. You want the evangelical? There we go. Okay. So click on the link. Everybody leave. Leave from here. Click on Hogtie's link. Click on people who have Hogtie's link, please. Flood it in the chat. Clicky, clicky, clicky. Stop watching me. Go click on, because I have it up right here. I'm watching it actually, so you guys can. No, don't click over on Shanny's. Please click Hogtie, because Hogtie Champ. You see this? Let me zoom in. This is what you're looking for here. Hogtie Champ. That's what we're waiting on. I don't know if I've been invited to this. It might be intellectuals owns it out. But that's fine because I can sit here and not hear moaning, so that's fine. I'll be content with the not moaning scenario because yeah, I think I'll be okay with the Yep, there we go. Click the link, folks. I think is he live? Oh, he is live. Okay. He is live. What is we're looking at? Is this Canadian horror movie or something? Let's see. It's black and white and there's snow blowing. I feel like this is the Canadian version of The Grudge. I don't know what's going on here. Huh. Not sure how I feel about this. Not sure how I feel. It's kind of calming. A little calming. You know, as the wind blows, this kind of billows, particles of freshly laid snow across the barely visible ground there, where more likely a road. You just see the streams of fresh powder down there. Please go click on that link and leave here. Because I want everyone to go watch Hogtie. Because he's more important to me. I just decided, I was like, fuck it, whatever. I'll earn my $100 some other way. I heard bullshit and I reacted. Just like that. Alright, I'm in this.